Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, woman sentenced to 6 to 12 years in prison for selling fatal dose of fentanyl tea. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
The Power of 3 sale is going on right now at Lovely Volvo Cars.
For the first time ever, we have 3 SUVs in our model lineup that are sure to meet all your needs.
From the classic 7-passenger Volvo XC90 to the mid-size.
February 28th of 2017, Paul Moody, a father of 3, passed away. The medical examiner's office would later determine he died of acute fentanyl intoxication. Wednesday morning, Katrina Short, who sold him the drugs, was in court to plead guilty. The prosecutor telling the court the victim's sister witnessed the fatal transaction.
She was there and that she was present when a female that she knew as Katie had sold Paul what she described as dope, and then Paul had subsequently ingested the heroin and later died.
Katrina Short pled guilty to sale of a controlled drug with death resulting, and sale of a controlled drug for sale to a confidential informant. Prior to sentencing, the victim's sister addressed the court.
Devastating.
Katie Moody, who asked that we not show her face, told the court that her brother had needed help for a while.
My brother was an addict for a long time.
Adding that she agreed with the sentence of 6 to 12 years. While Short didn't address the court, her attorney told the judge that Short, a former addict, has been working on turning her life around.
Ms. Short is certainly committed to her own recovery. She's shown that by completing the intensive outpatient program in New Jersey, by taking responsibility, and she is overwhelmingly sorry for what happened.
Short does have the possibility of getting a year off her minimum sentence, providing she successfully completes drug counseling while in prison. Reporting live in Dover, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Armed fugitive opens fire on police, barricades self in home. An armed fugitive opened fire in Middleborough police officers Wednesday morning as they tried to serve an arrest warrant. Officers were serving the warrant at 469 Wareham Street when a man in his 30s opened fire as officers approached, police said. No officers were injured. The man was barricaded in the home, and officers were working to negotiate his surrender, police said. Police said the fugitive was the only man in the home. As of 3:30 p.m., the man was still inside the building, and officials have not been able to make contact with him, police said. The Southern Eastern Massachusetts Law Enforcement Council SWAT team, local and state police, and FBI were at the scene. Businesses and residents between Interstate 495 and Locust Street along Route 28 were ordered to shelter in place. Route 28 is closed in both directions between Interstate 495 and Spruce Street. The man's name was not released. And we're following some more breaking news that is coming into our newsroom. 2 lanes closed on Interstate 495 in Chelmsford due to emergency bridge work. Several delays were reported along the northbound lanes of Interstate 495 in Chelmsford as Mass DOT highway crews were making emergency repairs to a bridge that crosses Route 110. A photo from Mass DOT showed highway crews ripping apart a small section of the bridge to make the repairs. Mass DOT said 2 of the left lanes were closed at exit 34. There was no timetable as to when the lanes would reopen. And we will keep you updated as we get more information into our newsroom and when those lanes reopen. Case closed. Police conclude deadly stabbing was self-defense. No charges will be filed in the death of a Versailles man who was stabbed in 2016 in the parking lot of Denny's in Portland, according to police. Police said a lengthy investigation into the death of 31-year-old Anthony Beast concluded that Beast was the aggressor during a fight that broke out in the early morning of April 28, 2016. Investigators have concluded that a man who stabbed Beast acted in self-defense after Beast confronted him and several other people as they sat in their car. As a result, no charges will be filed, police said. Police said the investigation found that Beast and several of his friends were involved in an altercation with the same group of people a few hours earlier at PT's Show Club at 200 Riverside Street. Police said staff at the nightclub had removed Beast and his friends because of the aggressive behavior. The other group left the nightclub shortly after, hoping to avoid another confrontation, according to police. Police said Beast was a passenger in the car driven by one of his friends when they saw the other group pull into the Denny's parking lot. Beast was stabbed several times in the torso. He died of his injuries on May 20th, 2016 at Maine Medical Center in Portland. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Wednesday evening. And here's a look at that U.S. stock market. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. CNBC IQ 100 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed in the red and went down. Oil closed in the green and went up. US 10-year closed in the green and went up. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the red and went down. Stocks close higher. Macy's surged more than 10% as retail rallies. Stocks rose on Wednesday as retail shares jumped on the back of strong quarterly earnings from retailer Macy's. Former Secretary of State gives stark warning about crisis of ethics in U.S. Former Secretary of State Rex Tillerson had a stark warning Wednesday about a crisis of ethics and integrity and the dangers of alternative realities and leaders who seek to conceal the truth. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Wednesday night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with another newscast. And I'll have a news report later on this evening. Good night, everyone. Bye.